I'm going to make it nice. It's refreshing. I had something similar to this about a week ago. Now this is my take on it. It's really a cilantro salad. And I'm adding all of these other things to it, but it's primarily, all this cilantro will be chopped up. So we have cilantro, a tomato, a cucumber, carrot, a zucchini, fresh lemon for lemon juice, red pepper, yellow pepper, scallion, red onion, alfalfa sprouts, and plain couscous, which it'll be in there but not heavily. And you make your own recipe for couscous, or you look at mine, but I'm not going to show you how to make it in this. This is just the salad. So we're going to cut everything up, put it together, and this will make an awful lot. Well, the easiest way to cut up the vegetables actually is to just throw everything in a Cuisinart and pulse it. But we're going to do this by hand. I'll show you the easiest way to cut a carrot. Just cut down the side, and this is flat. Then when you lay it like this, you make very thin slices. And after you go all the way with these thin slices like so, then you make very fine julienne, because everything has to be very small for this in this salad. And then just cross it. And you'll come up with nice little pieces of carrot like that. So do all the carrot that way. So once the carrots are cut up, this is a little smaller than your typical brunoise cut. You'll cut the zucchini and the Kirby cucumber, and if you don't use Kirby, use the Japanese. If you don't use that, then if you use regular cucumbers, you got to take the seeds out because it's going to put too much water into the salad. So these three items will be cut up the same way as we just did the carrots. Well, there's another machine you can use to do this. If you don't have a Cuisinart and you don't feel like doing this by hand, you could use a regular blender. The only thing is, if you put in like 1 cup of vegetable, you got to put in about 2 cups of water, so it's free to move around without being pureed, and you can watch it as it's dicing. And then you have to drain it well and let it drain for some time in the colander before you mix everything together. And when it comes to the celery, if you really want to do the right kind of job, first peel the celery and get that stringiness off, and then go about dicing it up. And then the peppers, the same way. Just slice them like this. It's easier with the skin side down if your knife isn't that sharp. And then just turn them this way, and we go. So that's how you do the peppers. And the scallions will be the same way. Well, we're not nearly finished yet, but as you can see, a little bit of 10, 12 different items, you come up with a lot. And I'm not adding any salt to this. You could if you're going to use it immediately, but I wouldn't add salt until you're ready to eat it, because there are many items in here that contain a high percentage of water. And what the salt will do, it will draw out the water from the item, and the salad will become very, very wet. And the shallot, I cut it in half, the long way, and just slice down as close as you can go, like so. And then down. You could cut in this way also if you want to get real tiny slices, but then again, just watch your fingers. And then we have, I'm putting more red onion than I would expect some people to put. I just love the taste of it, so if you want to cut back a little bit on the red onion, you can. It is simply, for me, great in salads. And just remember, when you're slicing items, keep your fingers curled like this, not straight out like that, or you'll cut your fingers off. And ride the knife up and down on this knuckle here, never going higher than the knuckle, or you'll be cutting it. And just it takes a little practice, but as far as the garlic, mince it up very fine because it's raw. I could have put it into with the couscous, but I wanted to do it like this. Or you can use a garlic press too, if you have one. Now the last item is going to be the tomato. And the tomato is fairly easy to cut. You just cut out the core. I slice it this way. And you know when you have a sharp knife, if you can cut a tomato without squashing it. And then I just go like so. And you have small pieces of tomato. And when I saw alfalfa, I would have put another type of sprout in it, but I saw the alfalfa, and that's always good. But I'm going to cut it up a little because it's like so stringy, it's going to be difficult to mix. And if there's another sprout you want to use, go ahead. Last item, the cilantro. Now if you're really picky, like some people are, that they want to pick off each individual leaf and not have the stem, that's fine. But I'll compromise a little. The heavy stems I'll throw away, but the light stems I'm going to leave. And then you just chop it up. Since this is a cilantro salad, we're not chopping it up fine for decoration. We're just chopping it up fairly coarse. And you do that to all the cilantro. Well, everything's in there except the lemon juice, a little oil, and I'm going to put hot sauce in there. You could put pepper. This will give you an idea of how much we have just by looking at that spoonful. It's quite a bit. Maybe we'll have to change the name of this to vegetable cilantro salad. No, I'm keeping it as a cilantro salad with vegetables. So the lemons, the easiest way to cut up lemons, press them, squeeze them first before you slice them. Before you cut them. Then when you cut them in half, the juice will come out easier. Also, when I cut the lemon in half, I don't cut it in half lengthwise. I cut it on an angle. It just seems to, the juice comes out easier. And also, stick a fork in there. It won't squirt around as much when you do it. We want 1/4 cup, which I think should be enough. And that should be about 2 lemons of this size. Now, we don't want the seeds. Pour it through a shit. I think my dog wants some salad. Take the seeds out any way you want. That's the easiest way for me. And I'm going to add the virgin olive oil, 1/4 cup. So that's the only amount of fat that's going in there. Everything else in there is healthy. And I like to use this hot sauce. So the amount, it's up to you. I just give it a nice couple of lines like that. You know, this is a little of, you have somewhat of Israeli salad mixed in here also. The cucumbers and the tomatoes. Almost forgot. Couscous goes in here. So my couscous that's been sitting around waiting cold, because you don't want to mix hot with cold ever. That's what was missing in there. Those little white granules or yellow pieces of couscous in there. And I'm also going to put in, this is just for my taste, I'm going to put a little bit of honey. And I'm not putting this on the recipe because I'm not asking you to do this, because I know how this is going to taste. So I'll just drizzle in some honey. And for myself, I'm not using any salt at all. There's enough flavor in here of everything that I can enjoy it. That doesn't mean you're not going to put salt. But now, how does that look? Pretty. Let's see how it looks on a plate. That's 1 spoonful of the cilantro salad. And how much do I have in there? Quite a bit. That's why I say a little bit of many items. Before you know it, you have a big tub of whatever it is. Now you just refrigerate it, and this is good in the refrigerator for a few days, no problem. And remember, if you put salt in it now, all the water will come out of the vegetables and the salad will be watery. Now it's kind of dry. Enjoy.